What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the S&P 500 today. We're going to go over the SPX, you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Yes, Czar Gets Crypto is talking about the stock market. I'm going to give some analysis on this, but we're also going to talk about Bitcoin with this video as well. And whether you're in this video for crypto or for stocks, whatever it might be, I think that there is a signal that we're witnessing right now between the S&P and Bitcoin, the same exact signal that we saw, and I'm saying it's a signal, we'll see if it is, the same exact signal that we saw when the S&P was down here. We're seeing it right now. The last time that the S&P was at a significant low where it moved up, we're seeing the same signals now. We're not at a very significant low, right? We're in these kind of, should I say, critical moments where you're at new all-time highs, where people are on the verge of thinking that we're about to enter a bear market, a massive crash like this, or do we go higher? And we continue to get surprised by this rally that just doesn't seem to stop. I think it's going to be number two, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that shortly enough. First, I want to give some analysis. I just want to look at the daily time frame and then probably zoom in for the S&P here. Looking at the daily time frame, we're moving down. And something that's interesting to note here is that the S&P is moving down and Bitcoin's actually moving up. And you might hear that and you might think, well, that's okay. Sometimes the S&P moves down and Bitcoin moves up. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, it does. But it hasn't happened at all, really, since April. Hasn't happened once. We'll go over that in a second. Don't worry. That's kind of the signal, actually, right there. We look at this on the daily time frame, and we're looking at our RSI. The RSI, oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I actually want to talk about what pattern we're in. Why I'm actually bullish here on the S&P. Most people are probably bearish right now. It seems like such an obvious top point, right? Double top, we're rolling over, we're going to go, man. We're overbought, we're ready to go down. But I think we're actually in a diamond top pattern. I think what we have here is a diamond top. It's actually, it looks so ugly without the parameters, but if you draw the parameters, it's actually a perfect diamond. And you know it's a diamond top. Diamond patterns are rare, first and foremost. And secondly, they're oftentimes not pretty. You hear diamonds, you think, oh, it's a very pretty pattern. It's very much not a pretty pattern. It's very sporadic and chaotic. And it's a diamond. It's literally perfect. It is a perfect diamond top. For those of you that don't know what a diamond top is, and the diamond top is actually one of the first patterns that I learned whenever I started doing technical analysis over 10 years ago now. So this is one of the patterns that I kind of obsessed with, because somebody told me it's a rare pattern. So because they told me it's a rare pattern, I wanted to learn more about it, which is kind of silly, right? It's just another pattern, just like anything. But it is a rare pattern, and it comes with a special set of rules, okay? Most patterns you don't really break out of the pattern. The diamond you can. It actually happens quite often. Very volatile, has a diamond shape, kind of like this, like a parallelogram, whatever. And typically what you see in a diamond is one of two things, okay? One, when you break out, it's a fast, tenacious, high velocity breakout, whatever the direction may be. Whenever you do break out, the way that you measure the breakout is you take the high of the pattern to the low of the pattern, and you put that at the breakout there, and that should give you your measure move, which would take us to lower lows. Now, that could happen. That could happen. It's possible. But the other situation here, and not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but oftentimes enough, it's really a 50-50 chance. It's not that this is more probable, what I'm about to say, or less probable. It's just as probable. This quick move down to the measure move, and again, quick, it would be quick, high velocity movements is what we're known for on breakouts of diamonds. But just as often, diamond patterns are known, and it makes total sense that this would happen because diamonds are super volatile patterns. There's so much volatility within this range. Even on your path down here, there's some volatility. There's volatility within your volatility, man. It makes sense that the second option would not be that you just move down at a high velocity, but that you have a breakout one direction and that you throw back the other direction. It's very common. It's about 50% of the time that diamonds do a false break to one direction and then rip the other direction. But again, the idea here is high velocity. High velocity, what do I mean by that? It means fast. It's fast. It doesn't go like this, which that's pretty fast for the stock market. But from here to here, it's not like this. From here to here, it's like this. It's fast. It's faster. Known for high velocity movements. So if this is a breakout in which we pull back to, the measure move then would be that the SPX, if we take the breakout, it would still be from this measure move, would be all the way up at 7,284 points. whatever that is there, which is crazy. That's astronomically higher than, and again, high velocity. Now, it's the 16th of December. That doesn't mean by the end of the year we'll be up here. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, maybe. But probably sometime in January we'll be up there, right? That's the measure move. And now here's where the fun stuff comes in, right? Is trying to validate that there are reasons to find support here. If we look at the 3-hour time frame, we look at this here. The last time that we were oversold like this, in fact, every time that we've been oversold like this has been a relative low point. A relative low point here, which we moved up sizably, a relative low point here, which we moved up sizably. Understand that all of these low points here in the RSI, they weren't the low. We did go lower. That's not what I'm saying, though. Notice what happened afterwards. We moved up like this. We moved up, from a low to a high, like this. We moved up from a low to a high. Really, let's just get the initial move like this. We don't have to go to the actual high, but like this. The last 3 times on the 3-hour time frame, even the 4th time, let's go, that you were oversold in this area. Right, I'm going to get the whole move, just these initial moves. Even the smallest movements from here, from this current price, would take you to new all-time highs. And guess what happens if we go to new all-time highs, you guys? Again, this is not me saying this is exactly what's going to happen. I'm just connecting the dots of facts that are inarguable on the charts. You can't argue the facts, okay? This is not an opinion, what I'm telling you here. The fact, non-opinion, is that when we were oversold here, this is what happened afterwards. When we were oversold here, this is what happened afterwards. When we were oversold here, this is what happened. When we were oversold here, this is what happened. Okay? We're oversold now. Oversold with the RSI and the stochastics just like before. Okay? And every single time, this is what has happened. That's not up for debate. That's a fact. And what I took was the smallest one. It's so slightly smaller, but that one is just smaller than that one. I took the smallest one, and I put it right at the low here. It's even a little bit below that price, technically. And that would take us to new highs. Diamond pattern. A bounce from here on the 3-hour RSI and the stochastics looking like they do, like we have over the last, I don't know, since October, right? Every single time we bounce from this exact zone, the minimum bounce that we've seen, if we replicate that here, we're at new all-time highs. Diamond pattern top, breakout, false breakout, pull back to the upside. And that validates that we're going to new all-time highs. And that validates the stock market will continue to rally. Here's another thing. And real quick, actually, I want to look at the 1 hour. There's a little bullish divergence on the MACD, but nothing to really worry about or get too excited about, I should say. Here's the other thing, and this is the thing that I'm alluding to, is the Bitcoin price, right? We compare the S&P to Bitcoin here, and you'll notice, I'm going to go through it with you, okay? I'm going to go through it with you right now. It's going to take a second, but it'll be easy to see. Try to keep up, okay? It's not that hard, but I don't know. My eyes might be more used to this kind of stuff, so I might know what I'm looking for where your eyes might not be. But if you have to replay it, whatever, go ahead and validate what I'm saying, or invalidate if you can. Notice how when Bitcoin's moving down here, the S&P is moving down, right? The S&P is moving down as well. We're moving down this whole time, and the S&P is moving down. When we move up here with Bitcoin, the S&P is moving up. We're moving down here, the S&P is moving down. Whenever the S&P moved up, Bitcoin started to move up as well. And for the first time in a long time, actually, Bitcoin here starts to rally. It starts moving up. Bitcoin is moving up while the S&P is moving down. Which is odd because, again, that normally doesn't happen. Normally, if the S&P is moving down, Bitcoin doesn't move up. So the fact that it moved up here while the S&P is moving down, maybe that's a signal that we move up. You go through this again. Was Bitcoin moving up here when the S&P was moving down? No, it wasn't. It was actually the S&P moved sideways and then Bitcoin started to move up, but it moved down here with the S&P. Was Bitcoin moving up here when the S&P was moving down? I guess a little bit right there to be completely fair, but more or less the S&P is moving up, right? And that's just the whole thought there, is that typically when the S&P moves down for whatever reason, Bitcoin moves down more. Typically that's what happens. We could see that here, right? You move down from October until November 21st, but Bitcoin moved down a whole lot more. And all of these little pivots to the upside came with pivots to the upside in the S&P as well. But we're seeing the S&P drop. We're seeing the S&P drop right now in what is arguably a very scary kind of critical moment, right? You're at all-time highs, double top look. You know, people are probably expecting a Santa Claus rally, all kinds of narratives and stuff. People are bullish on the markets. And by the way, this daily indicators that the stochastics have reset. This is actually a very bullish look on the stochastics. The RSI has reset itself. It didn't even get overbought. It wasn't hot at all. And the MACD is actually at a perfect place to bounce with the false cross if we are trending higher, which I think we are. Plus the diamond pattern with the potential pullback, the fake breakout, and then we go higher. But it is interesting that Bitcoin's moving up today while the stock market's moving down. And it's not that Bitcoin's moving up a little bit and the stock market's moving down a little bit. No, the stock market's moving down a good bit. This is a good pace at which you're moving down. Bitcoin put in a nice little low here, right? You went from 85K this morning to 87, almost 88K in a few hours, even while the stock market opened up to the downside. I think something's shifting, and I think we're seeing it across these markets, and I personally believe, getting away from the crypto talk now, I personally believe that the S&P is in this diamond top pattern right here, and we're going to get a pullback. A pullback. What do they call that? It's just a reversion back. And diamonds again are notorious for this exact thing where they break out one direction, they pull back, they throw back the other direction. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that's what happened here. Either that, or we're going to see a really weird circumstance where the stock market continues to drop at a very fast pace, very high velocity pace, and then Bitcoin doesn't drop. I mean, I don't see that happening. So either the stock market turns around here, or we're in this diamond breakout to the downside. It's going to pick up its pace and go down here. And while Bitcoin and crypto might be in a world of trouble as well, maybe other risk-on assets as well. But I've got nothing else. I hope you guys took something away from this video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I will see you all on the next one. Got a little red cross there, but nothing. I mean, the MACD is bullish. The RSI is bullish. What about the bearish divergence? Yeah, you've already had the bearish divergence play out, though. It's already played out. Really what you have is lower lows on the RSI with higher lows in the price. It's hidden bullish divergence. Stochastics are bullish. RSI is bullish. I don't care about the bearish divergence. It already happened. The bearish divergence already happened, you guys. So if that's your concern, let me just be the first person to tell you it already happened. It's nothing to be concerned about. Because this divergence here, this peak, happened right here. We had a higher peak there, and now we're below where the divergence started. So we've already fulfilled that divergence. This divergence here, high, lower high, higher highs here, you already pulled back and fulfilled that divergence. The divergence is already played out. If you're looking at this weekly RSI, you're like, oh, I got the secret sauce. It's not the secret sauce, bro. It's not. You got lower lows in the RSI. You have higher lows in the price. Look up what that means. What does it mean when the indicator has lower lows but the price has higher lows? It'll say hidden bearish divergence, or bullish divergence, my bad. Hidden bullish divergence. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care. Bye-bye.